Hey guys, what's up? It's JR Cuber, and in this video I'm going to be talking about my latest puzzle, the fully proportional, fully functional 3x3x7. So this was in fact actually a very easy puzzle to make. If you guys don't know, I made it out of one of these. This is the new X2 from Moving Parts. Did a video on this if you guys haven't seen it, and I actually did show this puzzle just for a few seconds in that video, but yeah, it was made from one of these. So if you guys can't tell, this is basically a 3x3x7 that has been extended on another axis. So what I did is I just removed the extension from one of the axes, and I got this, and it was actually very easy to make. It only took a few hours, and I actually only had to modify these 8 corner pieces right here. Those are the only ones that needed modification. All the other pieces could be filled in with spare parts from the X2. So if you guys watched that video, you know that I got 2 X2s. This is the first one, this is the second one. I turned the second one into this. Now, as you guys also may know, the Whiteden 3x3x7 just came out. I'm actually getting a couple of them tomorrow, and you'll see the unboxing for those puzzles tomorrow, but I still wanted to show off this puzzle so you guys could see how I made it and why I made it. So the simple reason as to why I made this puzzle is because I've wanted a proportional 3x3x7 for years, never really knowing how to make one, at least easily, and then the X2 came along and I already had plans to make a 3x3x7 out of one of those. So when I got the 2 of them, I was already planning on making one, and then the 3x3x7 from Whiteden came out, but I still decided to make it because it was such an easy mod, and I just wanted to have one done before the other ones arrived, because I'm getting a couple of those, and those are going to be for some mods that I want to make, but this one is for my collection, and it's just kind of cool that there's pretty much really only one of these in the world that's made quite like this. I also will be restickering it. I just used the color scheme that was on the X Cube, so white and yellow are on the long faces, and I would prefer them white and yellow to be on the top and bottom so it matches the rest of my cuboids. So with the 3x3x7s coming tomorrow, I'm also getting some stickers to sticker this up properly. But until then, this is what the puzzle looks like. So let's go ahead and do some turns. The turning of this puzzle is really identical to the X2 turning. So it's kind of loud and clunky, but it actually turns very smoothly. And then for these faces, the top layers are the ones that turn the worst. And as you can see, when you turn them, it kind of, sometimes the pieces will come apart a little bit. It's more so on this orange side. So you can see kind of what I'm talking about. But then the second layers too kind of do the same thing. And then the third layers are good because these layers are pretty much like 3x3 layers. So they turn very well. So we will do a checkerboard pattern. Everything is finger trickable, and this is what it looks like. Of course, the puzzle does shapeshift, so you can see it shapeshifts like that. And for the most part, the pieces are very stable. They're not completely stable, and I do explain why in my X2 video. So if you're wondering why, you know, it's a bit rattly, I explained that, and it's basically just because of the mechanism and the hindrances of it because of the X2's compatibility with the X Cube. So the mechanism couldn't really be more stable than it already is. But it is a very stable puzzle. It doesn't really pop. I have had a couple of pops only when I'm going very quickly. So I want to go ahead and explain now how exactly I made this puzzle and how I was able to get it to where only these 8 pieces needed to be modified. So if we take a look at the X2, if we removed all of these pieces, we would have basically a circle in the center where all of these pieces rotate around, right? So how do you fill up that circle? First of all, these edge pieces, these 4 edges right here, can be replaced using Rubik's Cube edges. So that's exactly what I did. So that means these 4 edges here are edges from just a normal Rubik's brand 3x3. So that means that these sections here, these like 1x3 blocks on all 4 of these edges were removed. Now what that allowed me to do is then replace these blocks here, here, and here with these blocks, and that would allow me to get rid of these extensions here and here. All right. Then for the center pieces, I just replaced the centers with centers from a normal 3x3. Actually, I just used the X cube centers. So I had an extra X cube, and I just replaced the center pieces with the center caps of a normal height center. And what that did is it made everything completely flat on the sides except for the corners. And the corners were actually very, very easy to modify. So I will show you what I had to do to the corners basically. So if you look at the corner piece, you can see that it has these little divots in 2 sections of the corner, not on the third because this isn't a cross cube. Now for a 3x3x7, we only need a divot in 1 of the 3 sides of the corner piece, which means this section here would need to be filled with epoxy sculpt. And you can see that it's actually entirely capped, so it's not hollow. It's not like I have to fill the entire piece. So there's just this little section right here that just needs to be filled with epoxy sculpt on 8 pieces. If you guys have never modded before, then you might not know this, but filling that small of a hole with epoxy on 8 pieces is about one of the easiest things you can do in terms of modifying puzzles. So filling the actual pieces took about 30 minutes, and then sanding took about maybe an hour. So a super, super easy mod, and I'll show you what the finished piece on the 3x3x7 looks like. So we can see these edges. These are just standard Rubik's Cube edges with just the replaced stickers on it. And then the only modified pieces are these corners. So you can see this is the area here that I filled up. And I just filled it with epoxy, sanded it all smooth, and gave it a quick coat of spray paint. And it pretty much just all blends together now. And there's just this one section of the corner that has the divot in it. These 2 pieces here fit into it like that. So yeah, this is a very easy mod. I definitely wouldn't recommend doing it though, considering the mass-produced puzzle isn't available now, so there's absolutely no reason to go and buy an X2 just to mod it into this. So now what I want to do is go ahead and scramble this thing up, give you guys a bit of a walkthrough solve. Anyway, let's go ahead and scramble it up and get started. So the puzzle is all scrambled up now. You can see that it shapeshifts pretty well. So yeah, let's go ahead and give this thing a solve. So since orange and red are the top and bottom colors, those are going to be the top and bottom faces of our 3x3 solve. So I'm going to go ahead and solve red. Now, of course, you don't need to worry about your cross colors. It's just putting the right shaped pieces in. The only part of this solve that we actually have to solve is the middle layer. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do now. We're just going to do some F2L. So this edge can be brought in just like that. And this one needs to be here, but this is the wrong corner. This corner needs to be over here. So we're just going to go ahead and use this corner. Just like that. This edge needs to be brought over here. And what I'm actually just going to do is, since all these corners are solved up here, I can just rotate this around and then turn it down like that to solve it. And then for this last one, we can go ahead and insert it using beginner's method algorithms. There we go. Now we can go ahead and orient all the edges. And then we've got a soon. And there we go. We are back to cuboid shape. Now we're going to go ahead and solve this inner 3x3x2. So get yellow, green, white, and blue. Start solving the corners. There's one. Let's see. There's two. It looks like these two need to be switched, so we'll just put a random one in there and put this in here, just like that, and then this down here. Alright, now we'll do adjacent corner swap. And then opposite edge swap. And then adjacent edge swap. Alright, and we are going to have parity, but we'll deal with that at the end. We just got to make sure we always keep this to the right. So now we'll do the second 3x3x2 outwards. Just going to put this green piece in, then this white piece, and we'll do these corners. Here we go. And then that one in. We have no headlights, so we have to do the corner swap twice. Now we do have headlights, so we'll put them on the left. Now we just have an adjacent edge swap. Oops. And there we go, we did get a pop. So this is exactly what I was talking about, but it's pretty easy to fix. There we go. Let's see, where were we? There we go. Didn't lose our place in the algorithm. Alright, so now we can go ahead and move to the outer 3x3x2. So put that one in. Put that one in. That one in there. And that one in there. Alright, now we can do our corners. This, of course, will be a lot easier because we can see the colors. Come on. There we go. Alrighty. Now we've got headlights. So, come on. This is what I'm talking about. It just does lock a little bit, but we'll put those on the left and then do the algorithm. And then we've got an H-perm. Of course, we can't do it like we would on a 3x3, so we just got to do 2 opposite edge swaps. And there we go. Now we just have parity. So we'll go ahead and do our parity algorithm. And there we go. The puzzle is solved. So yeah, 3x3x n cuboids aren't hard to solve at all. The same method applies for any 3x3x n cuboid. You just solve the middle layer if there is one, and then you just keep going outwards, doing 3x3x2 solves until you run out of layers, basically. So yeah, that is the 3x3x7 made out of an X2. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that solve. This was basically just a proof of concept puzzle, just to see if it would work and to make one for my collection, basically. Anyway, look out tomorrow for the unboxing of the mass-produced 3x3x7s from Whit Eden. Until then, if you guys like this video, give it a like, and if you haven't already done so, like my Facebook page, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and of course subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.